Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 7. So I think I can speak for all of us, or at least most of us, when I say that Arrow is looking extremely good, or very good, based off the trailer for Season 7 that we got from Comic-Con around 2 and a bit weeks ago. Oliver's time in prison looks like it is going to be interesting as hell and also quite brutal. And then we also had the moments in the trailer where we saw that Green Arrow copycat Archer person, who we may also bring up later on in this video. But in this video we are going to be talking about a returning character for the season, that of course being Roy Harper. So the last time that we, the audience, saw Roy Harper was when he had returned to Star City last season and got mixed up, unfortunately, with all the drama around Ricardo Diaz. But this all led to Roy getting back together with Thea Queen and the other members of Team Arrow as a group of Renegade League of Assassins members, I think you would call them, arrived in Star City to target and kill Thea in order to seek out a box that was left behind by Malcolm Merlyn. But at the end of this episode, we saw Roy leave along with Thea and Nyssa, and they were off to go on their own journey, if you want to call it, to seek out the remaining Lazarus Pits around the world and to deal with them. So what could have happened between then and the beginning of Arrow Season 7 that will lead to Roy heading back to Star City and being a regular for this season of Arrow? Well, let's go over the thing that we just referenced as the first possible thing that could have gone down with Roy since we last saw him back in Season 6, and that is, of course, those Lazarus Pits and the journey that he, Thea, and Nyssa went on revolving around them as they set out to destroy them. So one common theory around this is that something may have happened to Roy whilst on this expedition. That thing being that he either was killed or extremely injured, which would cause Nyssa, Thea, or possibly both of them, to take the drastic action and decision of reviving Roy through the use of one of the other Lazarus Pits that they may have found on their journey, because that's what they were doing, trying to find those Lazarus Pits. My thoughts on this option is that it is a very plausible theory due to the fact that, well, that's where Roy went. He went to look for Lazarus Pits and to end them. So who knows if those Renegade League members ran into Roy, Thea, and Nyssa again, and, well, things didn't go that well for our friends. But we will come back to the consequences of this and why Roy would feel the need to return to Star City following this later on in the video, as it makes more sense to come back to it at that point in the video. The other option for all of this is that something not that good has happened to Roy's love, that being Thea Queen. So even though Roy Harper is confirmed to be returning as a regular for this season of Arrow, Thea has not. She won't be returning. Of course she could randomly show up for an episode or two, or maybe just one episode, but that hasn't been confirmed or even hinted at, to be completely honest. So you would have to think that just wouldn't be happening at any point this season. Also, Willa Holland, who played Thea on the show, appears to not really have any interest in the show anymore, so due to this, they could do the typical oh, Thea died and now Roy is back because she's dead, and yeah, she died from a random thing that we probably won't explain too well, and yeah. Which wouldn't just be weird for Roy and how he would play off of all of that when he shows up. But then there is also, her brother Oliver and him having to deal with all of that. So how they deal with Roy returning, but Thea not returning, it's going to be very interesting to see go down. Thea being dead is the easy route to go down, but then that opens up too many questions for other characters and their reactions to it. So I don't think this would be the way to go as an explanation for why Roy has specifically chosen to come back to Star City. But now let's go back to that first option we talked about, which revolved around Roy being affected by a Lazarus Pit whilst out and about on that adventure with Thea and Nyssa. So many believe that this has happened and has led Roy to returning to Star City as that, Green Arrow copycat that we saw in the trailer for Season 7 of Arrow from Comic-Con around 2.5 weeks ago. And, well, being a bit of a, murderous vigilante. It's actually quite similar to how Oliver was back in Season 1 when he was the Hood. And this point is sort of supported by some things that Colton Haynes, who plays Roy Harper on the show, had to say at San Diego Comic-Con during some interviews around his return to Arrow after his absence, as well as what to expect from Roy in Season 7. I got a call from Greg Berlanti and he said, "Hey, I was shooting American Horror Story at the time." And he said, "If you want to come back, you're welcome to come back. We have a great idea." And it's the craziest idea. Roy Harper's coming back in a way that no one is going to understand. It's amazing, and I was like, I can't wait to be around my friends and my family. And so I, of course, jumped at that opportunity. You guys have no idea what's happening with Roy Harper. It's a crazy storyline, I can say. It's nothing like he's been before. It's going to shock so many people. I'm shocked right now. It's going to shock a lot of people. Roy's not the same person. I can't say much, but we're returning back to our roots on the show. Not the characters, but the show. We're going back to how we were a couple of seasons ago, but it's going to be so good. Beth Schwartz, our new showrunner, she's a dream. She's changing everything and she's making everything the way I think the show was at the beginning. So yeah, going off what Colton is saying, we will be shocked. Like he said that multiple times. I think a bit too much maybe. But I'm trying to think if anything he says here could be hinting at anything else than Roy being this Green Arrow copycat. Everything just lines up that he will end up being the one under that hood and mask. It was also said by Beth Schwartz, the new showrunner for Arrow, who Colton Haynes talks about in that interview, that Arrow's season 7 would be the darkest the show has ever been. Which is a pretty big statement, seeing that Arrow in, maybe not in a complete season, but definitely in like particular episodes, or individual episodes might I say, has gotten fairly dark. So I'm keen to see what they see as dark and whether it does trump other seasons in regards to that. But obviously when you look at it, something must have happened to Roy since we last saw him, something messed up, something twisted, to cause him to come back and not only be a different person, like a different Roy than we have ever seen, but also that he could possibly return as that murdering vigilante from the trailer. And the last thing I do want to mention in this video is that it has actually been confirmed that Sidel Knoll, I think that's her name, who plays Samandra Watson on the show, so like the FBI agent, she will be returning to Arrow Season 7, which makes sense. I was sort of expecting this. I wasn't too sure if they were going to make an official announcement. I was just expecting her to be there because she, you know, was sort of responsible for Oliver getting locked up, so it makes sense that there's some like sort of contact between her and some other character. So I don't necessarily know she'll play that big of a role. I think she just might be in the beginning of this season as we deal with some stuff that might have happened in between season 6 and season 7 as well. Or maybe she might be communicating with Felicity. And for those that know what I might be referencing to there, congratulations, but I'll probably do a video on Felicity in the next couple of days because there's some interesting stuff actually going on with her this season. So she might be connected to that as well. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Sorry about my voice. I'm a bit sick at the moment. Some of you guys would already know that, so I'm trying to get through these videos without killing my voice. But yeah, leave your opinions in the comment section down below about anything I went over in this video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.